Initiating System 1.
Back to the light machine guns we go. Which one shall we review today? The one in the middle? Not too hot, not too cold. But
System 1
let's
ready.
use a Russian light machine gun that's been around since World War II. And it's been around since then, even being used by several countries. Today, we are going to be reviewing the RPD. When it comes to history, the RPD has a long history. The RPD was developed in 1943 for the Soviet Army and was entered into service in 1945 during World War II, and its purpose was to replace the DP machine gun due to its magazine feeding issues and it overheating. It was made in larger scale past World War II in 1953, and the bullets from the RPD were used to make standard issue rounds for the AK-47, and the weapon was a precursor to squad automatic weapons due to its reliability and large magazine size. Eventually, the RPD was replaced by the RPK, a longer version of the AKM with a longer barrel, but it is being used by many African and Asian countries today. For the RPD's damage, it is around the middle of the LMGs. When it comes to it, you will be killing people within 3 shots within the body and 2 in the head. Your range, however, it really doesn't matter. You have no range drop-off penalty whatsoever. But according to this, it's usually 38 to 50 meters. But it doesn't really matter anyhow because you're still going to be killing people within 3 to 2 shots. Your penetration ability is high, like all the other LMGs included. Rate of fire is moderate, at around 705 rounds per minute. And when it comes to the double tap ability, you will have a 952 rounds per minute, around the middle side as well compared to the M249 SAW and the M60. You'll be firing at full automatic like all the other LMGs, and your hipfire ability, however, is going to be large, so this won't be good when it comes to point blank range. Recoil is a mixed bag as well. Right in the middle, you will have low recoil to deal with at first, and then after a couple shots later, it will be going up into a moderate pace. With good fire control, this is not a problem. Your aim time is slow, at 350 milliseconds. Your switch times, however, are the slowest in the game, at 600 milliseconds going down, and 1.25 seconds going up. This is only used in a dire emergency. In case you have people that are coming around you in short range, this would be not much of a problem. But if you have more enemies coming, then this will be a problem if you're switching up to a pistol or not. Your movement speed, however, is slow, at 87.5% of the base speed. Magazine size, like all the LMGs, are superb. With 100 rounds, you'll be able to kill 3, 4, or even more guys within a single magazine. You start with another 100 rounds as well, making your total supply up to 200 rounds. It's enough to kill a whole bunch of people and even a helicopter included. But do be warned, this LMG, along with the M60, are tied with the longest reloads within the game, and possibly throughout the entire series, at 9.7 seconds, within 1/10 of a minute. So if you're in the middle of a firefight, it would be a really bad idea to have a reload. A lot of people would be able to kill you within that regard, and even within the duration of the reload, you are pretty vulnerable, so you do have to rely on your teammates. Our build of this weapon is going to be about going to the position first, holding your position and keeping up with the others, with using traps and speed as a regard. Can't be using power because it's already full of it, and we're going to make sure we're going to be heading to the objectives and clinging to them no matter what. To make sure all of our bullets count, and to make sure we can go to a longer range, we are going to be using the foregrip. What it does is basically simple. It decreases your recoil and increases accuracy for longer ranges. The RPD is still pretty good without it as well, and there's really no choice on using a a red dot sight, because the iron sights are pretty clear, and the ACOG scope sways us a little bit more, harming your longer range potential. So you could be good without any other attachment as well. But do be warned, with the foregrip you do have to sacrifice perk 1, so you do have to make an adjustment to your playstyle in order to use the weapon effectively. Assuming that you're not going to be using the foregrip, we're going to be heading towards perk 1. The Claymore ×2 perk is pretty good when it comes to trapping, and no doubt with 2 of them you are going to be pretty protected whatsoever. So if you use them against a door, a cover, or even onto a flanking side that you would think you'd be flanked at, depending on the situation, then go ahead and use one, and they'll be met with one hell of a surprise. It would be pretty good at protecting objectives or even into key paths. Another good idea can be the C4 ×2 perk, protecting objectives or even tossing them through cover to kill multiple enemies or even injuring them. Second, what other perk is better with speed when it comes to perk 2? Sleight of hand is no doubt essential when it comes to this LMG. Because of the slowest reload in the game, this would be a good factor. If you're in a low ammo, and if there's more enemies coming in, the longer reload can eventually get you killed. So subtracting from that, sleight of hand will make it down a couple less seconds, and you can easily just go into the fight and kill more people along with it. There is really no other substitutes besides sleight of hand, due to it being a perfect weapon when it comes to the middle grounds. And lastly, to add more speed, we are going to be adding extreme conditioning. Not just to keep up with the parties, but to also go to the objectives much faster than the LMG users, and get to the key positions faster along with it. And you can carry up with more people along the side too. But if you don't like that, then steady aim can also be a good choice, especially to all those that are going to be wanting to introduce themselves at point blank range. With an assault rifle variant of the hipfire, this won't be that much of a problem, so you can easily spray them with more than a whole bunch of bullets in their way. And with this speed introduction, with all the combos introduced, you can be pretty unstoppable within the longer to middle ranges. The RPD is a versatile light machine gun. It has no damage drop-off whatsoever. Compare that to the M249 SAW. It has a moderate high damage, and it's best when it comes to a medium to long range. The recoil, however, is much lower compared to that to the M249 SAW, or that of the M60, so you won't be having that much problems when going up to those ranges too. However, the RPD always has some serious drawbacks. With its moderate recoil, if you're shooting too much, it can be much more a problem within longer ranges. But with the slow handling as well, and the worst reload in the game, you are going to be having a little bit of problems when it comes to your speed and with your reloading capabilities. However, it's also bad when it comes to a close range. Shotguns and SMGs can easily spray you apart. And at longer ranges, with the sniper rifles, the RPD can only fire 3 shots in order to be successful. The sniper rifles, however, only need 1. Overall, this weapon is the best when it comes to the longer ranges compared to the other 2 light machine guns. It has good damage, and it's pretty flexible too, so you can do anything you want with it in that regard. The M60, too hot. With the M249 SAW, too cold. With the RPD, this Goldilocks LMG, you will no doubt this weapon is just about right. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to vote, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and be sure to look at my Facebook and Twitch page down below. Until next time, we are going to be reviewing the M1014 shotgun. And until then, Galactic Storm saying, keep charging, bitches.